Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the channel. I'm the Shotgun Shogun and I'm pretty sure that you can tell by the title of this video what this is going to be about. Well, every other content creator on the block has been making these, and a lot of people have asked me on stream and Discord as well as in DMs what my opinions are on some of the things that are going on, what some of the opinions of the other content creators, how I feel about those and things along that, and just where the current state of Epic 7 is and where it's going, and just my feelings on a lot of that. And I didn't really want to jump on the bandwagon and make one of these videos, but again, a lot of people have been asking me, and I've been reading a lot of stuff all over the internet about this, and I don't know. I'm sitting here farming runes and decided, you know what, hey, let's have a little bit of a talk session on this one. So the big thing is the last handful of patches, the content patches, things like that we have been getting have really been, I don't know, the community is very split on a lot of things, and it feels like it has just been escalating more and more ever since the pet patch, because you have a lot of divide on what people actually want out of this game. Now, to preface all of this, I play a lot of different gacha games. I try out a lot of things. I actively have played FGO. I still play FGO. I play Grand Blue. I play AFK Arena. I play, obviously, Epic 7, Arknights, Azure Lane, a lot of other ones in the past, Valkyrie Cruise, Connect, I don't know. Oh, I've played my fair share of gacha games and Dragalia Lost and, stuff like that, to kind of put in perspective of where I'm coming from. So I have quite a bit of gacha clout, I guess you could say, underneath my belt. So this way it's not somebody who this is their first gacha game and they don't really know anything about this. I've been there, done that, played that. And one of my big things is I don't feel like anyone actually knows what they want. They just don't like what they're getting. It started with the pet patch. A lot of people were expecting complete full auto, everything for free. And one of my big questions on that one was why? But for why? Like, the game already has auto in it. Now, I will agree, I wanted my pet to be able to open up chests. Absolutely. That was one of the big things that I thought that it was going to come with. And I was a little bit disappointed that, yeah, I do have to use a snack in order to do that. Now, for hunts, big thing in the game is people have already been using macros to auto this. It's not a new thing. It's not a big surprise. Pretty much everybody who is at any sort of end game uses an auto clicker in order to finish hunts. So realistically, that's not the reason why some of these people wanted this. They wanted to be able to use a macro in order to go through just regular missions and open up chests. That's really what it was. Now, a lot of people were like, well, I've got other things to do in life, so I just want to be able to auto this or skip tickets or something like that. But at the same time, they will turn around and complain about not having enough things to do, not enough content in the game. And my big question is, what mobile game have you ever played where farming is not the core aspect of the game? And it's like, if it's not, then how often do you play it? I play AFK Arena, where obviously farming is not the core aspect of that game, and I play it for about 20 minutes a day, if that. And so my big question when people were bringing that up was, okay, well, what else do you want to do? Because if there's not catalyst farming or gear farming or walking dogs or, farming side stories or, farming gold, whatever, then what is there really to do? Because people already complain about how long raids take to clear. That's why they're working on making raids less of a chore. And then on the flip side, you have the people who even currently say, oh, well, I log in and I can get everything for the week done in 5 hours on Monday because I'm rushing it. So which is it? Is there not enough to do, or is there too much to do? Now, one of the big things with that is what could they put into the game that would provide for the end game content? I see a lot of the complaints are there's not enough content for end game players. And to be fair, a lot of players aren't end game. You really have to focus kind of on the middle ground of players. And almost every game has this problem. Take MMOs, for example. There's, the hardcore end game players will go beat every raid. And then what do they have to do? They have raids on farm where, your mid-tier player has endless amounts of things to do because they're not where the top 1% are. Now, for me, I am pretty far into the game. I have quite a bit of heroes leveled up. I just hit 91 6 stars. My thing is I'm making my own fun. I want to level up 2 stars in order to make meme teams, stuff like that. The thing that I feel like a lot of players are running into where they say they don't have anything to do, but do you have every character 6-starred and plus 15? Do you have copious amounts of extra gear? Do you have the perfect gear for that matter? And I know it can get frustrating farming gear. Trust me, my gear is not that amazing. I also put too much time into leveling fun characters that I want to build instead of actually farming gear like I should be. Now, don't get me wrong, they have dropped the ball quite a bit when it comes to gear farming, because really Epic 7 is 90% gear. A lot of times when I hear people talk about how OP a character is, well, the character's not OP without OP gear. Realistically, if you put an ML Ken in absolute garbage gear, he's gonna get destroyed instantly. He can't solo the team. Arbiter Vildred, same. In realistically, even with good gear, sometimes Arbiter Vildred can't do anything against, an Oath Keyed BBK or, Judge Kisei or Baiken or Karen or Axe God or anything like that. So realistically, it's not so much the character. This was one of my big concerns back when people were complaining about how, ML5s were the be all end all of the game. And that's another thing that's kind of come up recently too, is people really harping on the ML5s or the new characters that they bring out. It's that they either want them to be completely overpowered or it's literal trash. And I don't really get that. I like to look at a character and look at the niche. And I've talked about this in my patch notes videos about how, like, some people want, a hammer for every situation, where maybe this character is a caliper and they are the best thing for a certain job. So it feels like the community doesn't actually know what it is that they want. They just don't want what it is that we have. And like I said before, I feel like coming from other gacha games, I've seen where some of those games are and what they provide for the game players and community. And that's why I don't really harp on Smilegate as much as some people do, because coming from Fate Grand Order, where they don't even literally talk to the community, the dev notes and the feedback that we get from the developers and stuff like that, through the dev notes, through even just the patch notes, through the community building, the Facebook events, literally just events in general, is so much better than what I'm used to. So maybe that's just my own bias coming in on that, but it seems like a lot of people, and especially when I read the stove comments and some of the Reddit threads, people just don't know what they want. They just want something else right now. And they're really bored because they're not happy with the gear that they're getting. And don't get me wrong, World Boss was an absolute failure. 100%, I will completely agree with everyone. World Boss was an absolute joke, and they really, really need to revisit that. One of the big things with pets and the argument with pets is I feel like a lot of people see one thing that they didn't like and they completely dismiss all of the things that were good. Literally, I have a pet right now that will just give me free runes. While I am farming this for the upcoming Wanda specialty change, I literally have the chance to get other runes. I don't even have to, it's literally free. There's nothing really. I put in some gold. I've pulled quite a few. They give us a lot of adoption tickets, things like that. But I don't I don't have to do anything. It's just an extra chance. And I think a lot of people don't look at that. They just go, well, this isn't the one core aspect that I wanted isn't in here. So all of the other things that came with this, I'm going to completely dismiss and literal dead game. So, I mean, the thing is we have perpetual side stories. If you rush through and completely clear that out day one and burn leafs and sky shards in order to get energy refills, well, that's kind of your own fault. You have the game that can go at your own pace. And if your pace is super hardcore and you burn yourself out, that's kind of your own fault. There is, like I said, there's so much stuff to do in this game, and they're constantly rebalancing characters and stuff like that, which is one of the things that I like. So there's not really that much in the way of power creep, because I've seen some people say, oh, the game's garbage because of power creep. They're always releasing new overpowered characters. But depending on who you talk to, those overpowered characters are literal garbage because it doesn't fit into the one-shot narrative that those people want. Kind of take APOC Ravi, for example. Obviously, as you can see, she is absolutely destroying at the spirit altar. So I use her quite often as, you know, a PvE tank, but everybody looks at just PvP and how it would fit into whatever their perception of a you know, legend meta unit, even though most of the people who are complaining about them aren't even in that tier of player. So I think a big problem is, and I'm not trying to like disparage anybody, trust me, I'm one of the biggest advocates of putting out constructive criticism in a very, you know, like semi-decent tone, you know, just crapping all over a company, you know, and I'll get some pushback on this because people think that that's what I did with Fate Grand Order, but you know, most of my complaints with Fate Grand Order were community based, and I gave them options. You know, I brought things up here. Realistically, Smilegate does need to address the gear concern, and I agree that the conversion thing that they put in just recently was not what I expected in the slightest. And like, you know, 2 times a month is pretty bad, and the fact that I have to put in multiple, you know, destruction rings for a destruction ring is pretty trash. Plus it's got to be leveled up, stuff like that. I think that the problem is, like, even if I were to be able to just throw, let's say they even only had to be like +3 or +6, because I usually take most things to +6 just to see what things roll. Even if I had to throw all of those in there and it was just destruction set, then that wouldn't be the worst thing ever, because, you know, it's whatever. But I do believe that out of like Hunts 11, there should be no level 70 drops. When you are actively farming Wyvern 11, Banshee 11, Golem 11, and Bug 11, you're not using level 70 gear. You're just not, especially blue level 70 gear. That is like the worst thing to ever get. Like, you're sitting there, you're farming, you see even a red drop, and you're like, oh, level 70. Oh, it's got 2 flat substats. Oh, that's disgusting. Like, literally going to just sell that. So there are a lot of things that they need to do with equipment. That's for sure, because this game is 90% equipment based. I could put the best equipment on a low tier hero, and that's me with my air quotes, because you can't see that because I look super disheveled right now. But you can put the best gear on a low tier hero and they will absolutely clap a top tier hero with garbage gear. That's just the way that this game is. You know, your hero makes up a very small-ish amount of the overall power of that character. And even then, too, you have MOLAs and stuff like that, which it's good that they're gated, but at the same time, it does kind of suck, because especially if you're somebody like me who has the vast majority of characters in the game, except for ML5s, because all I keep getting is dupe spezzes. But I have so many 4 and 5 star characters that I would really, really like to skill out, but I only have so many molas to give out, and sometimes I'll put them somewhere, and then I'll be like, okay, I didn't really like the way this character worked out, or oh, I don't have the right gear. So now I've got molas sitting in a character that I can't use right now because I don't have the gear. I play quite a bit. I spend quite a bit. I farm a lot, and I only have like a good amount of gear for a small subset of characters, and so if it's not a free unequip weekend, like I have a hard time moving gear around without paying quite a bit. There does need to be some gold reduction, and a lot of these things are things that would help out. But the problem is if they put in a gold reduction, it won't be enough. It needs to be free in some people's minds. If they did put in, here was the big thing too, is if they put in a complete auto feature where you could literally just set it and forget it for hours. The next thing people would complain about is, well, I don't have enough stamina to run this for, the next 3 days to farm, without paying for leafs. So it would be a perpetual treadmill of, well, I got this thing, but I'm not happy. I need more. I need this game to literally play itself. When Hell Raid mode comes in, when they put out the other Hell Raid bosses, some people will literally blow through the whole thing in one day. And then they'll be like, oh, dead game. I'm the 1%. And I have all of the characters. I have the best gear. I have the best morale teams. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to clear it with 0 problems. And then what's after that? I feel like a lot of people are expecting some sort of Senku level high IQ plays. But the problem with that is that if you put that in, it'll be like Automation Tower floor 100. It'll be, do you have the exact characters needed with the exact gear and the RNG luck to get all of that done? Oh, you don't? Well, have fun being frustrated and slamming your face against the keyboard or your phone for the next 3 days while you pray that the RNG gods are in your favor. That's the problem with a lot of these games, is if you overtune it, yeah, a very small subset of people will have a hard time doing that content, but you have to understand that you have to make the game accessible to at least the mid to at least upper tier players. Not everybody is a 1%er. Not everybody has spent $20,000 on this game and farms it 14 hours a day. So you do have to take into consideration the mid tier and the newer people that are coming into the game. Every single game out there that I'm aware of has this problem. Fate Grand Order, I'm probably in the top 1% of accounts, and there's literally nothing in this game that farming wise that I can't 3-turn. I have pretty much the correct characters leveled that I can 3-turn pretty much everything that requires farming from here for a while. Let's just put it that way. My account is solid. So there's really nothing in that game that is really a challenge for me. Should they change the game to cater to me or the other 99% of players that don't have what I have? Now, it might be that's a little bit boring for me, but at the same time, I make my own fun because, well, I mean, I have some stuff to do. I have some characters. My account's not 100%, fleshed out, and I don't have everything leveled up just in case, hey, maybe I want to use a wild Angra in RTA or Guild Wars because I want to make a funny meme video or something along those lines. That's one of the big things that you have to understand is a lot of people want, this is what I want for me. They don't take into consideration the overall better gameplay and the better experience for every player. So I think for me, I still have a lot of fun with this game. Do I think that some of the things could change? Absolutely. I do think that gear is one of the absolute biggest problems that they have in this game. And that is going to be something that, longevity wise, they're going to need to look at. But do I think that they need auto repeat? No, absolutely not. Because I can hit this button, auto the game, and then after a couple of minutes of talking to you, I can just hit that button again. Because even if it had a complete auto, you would still have to have your phone open. You would still have to have your emulator up. You'd still have to have your tablet open. And if you are so busy that you can't hit that every 3 minutes, well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe this isn't the game for you. Not every game is for everybody. If you are looking for those 500 IQ Senku level plays, this might not be the game for you, Dr. Stone. You might not want to you might not want to invest in this one because it's not as big brain as a lot of people want to put out there. And I don't think there's too many mobile games that are like that. A lot of people I've seen are like, well, I need more strategy from my RPG game. And it's like, bro, it's a phone game. Like, once RTA comes out and you're playing against another human being, that's fine. But when you're playing against an AI, it doesn't take too much to figure out how to manipulate an AI in Guild Wars or in Arena or in PvE, stuff like that. It's not really that big brain. You just need a medium-sized brain. You can't have a small brain, but you do need at least a medium-sized brain. But big brain plays here, that ain't it, Chief. Maybe like I said, you got to really, if you are a 1%er and you don't have absolutely everything leveled, everything plus 15, you're kind of burning yourself out, man. Like, that is a big thing. And if you're getting burnt out, just step back, because why ruin the fun for everybody else because you're not happy? That's you going into a Wendy's and just crapping on a table because you don't like Wendy's food. I like Wendy's food. Actually, I'm okay with Wendy's food. But if you don't like it, then don't ruin it for everybody else. Just don't play it. There's so many other things that you could go do instead of going, well, this needs full auto and this needs to change, and I'm not happy with this one aspect. Dude, World Boss sucks, okay? I get it. The conversion thing, it sucks. But people are out here rating the game a 1-star. I guarantee they didn't uninstall the game. They're not going to quit playing the game. And they're just going to show that they're a super toxic community. It's like when JP released and the Korean players went into the JP streams and told them how much of a crap game this was and just literally word vomited all over their stream. Super immature, super garbage people. Just literally stop playing if you hate it so much that you were going to go out of your way to continue to play it, but also tell everybody else how terrible it is. That's just really petty and childish. And you're not really providing anything. Literally none of the stove comments that I have read and none of the people bragging about their 1-star comments on Google, on the Play Store and iTunes have ever put in a good, constructive solution that doesn't involve just giving people everything for free. Like, that's the big thing, is if you do have good, solid ideas of what to put in, then fantastic, put it in. But if your idea is, well, I just don't like whatever it is that you put in there, it needs to be better. That's not constructive in the slightest. Like, it just really isn't. And like I said before, you've got to really take into consideration the vast majority of people. You are getting a lot of things for free. I mean, this is like one of the few games that they literally reward you every single day for just playing the game. Like, you do the dailies and all you have to do is just the dailies. Like, let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back to this. Let me go back to lobby. Literally, because this does not take you 100 energy, but if you just finish the daily missions, arena 5 times, avenge 5 times, hunt 1 time, you get 100 energy. That's a refund on all of your energy, because hunt's 20 And what's 8 times 5? 45? No, that's 9 times 5. I'm super bad. So that is what, 40? 40 is 8 times 5 because you could just do 8. Even if you did the mazes, which are 10, that's 50. 60, 70, that's 70 with the hunt. You get 30 free energy, and all of those didn't cost you a thing. So you're getting free energy. They give you free energy throughout the day. Not only that, but chances are you're going to win some gold or some energy because, you know, it's never this bell mouse. It's never the bell mouse for me. It's always 80 energy or 100 stigma, even though you can't catch wild angras because they got that evasion. They got that evasion buff. But people will still complain about this, regardless of them giving you free stuff regularly. They'll still complain about this. Like, you don't get this in other games. Other games you log in and they're like, hey, thanks for logging in. Here is you going another day. Thanks for that. So like, take a look. And realistically, if you're that mad about the game that you're going to go onto Android, Play Store, iOS, and you're going to rate it 1 star, uninstall it, or don't uninstall it. Just go play something else. See, even Odin's mad. He's going to go rate this 1 star. He's going to thumbs down this video too. But go play other games, because having not played any other games, you really have no idea of what else is out there. You can't really compare it to anything. And I do feel like a lot of players, this is their first mobile game. At least that's the way it seems like. And if you have never played another game, go play Battle Cats, go play FGO, go play Grand Blue, go play Dragalia Lost, go play Brave Exodus, go play Crossing Void, go play Ninja's X-Girl Battle, go play Love Nikki Dress Up Queen, go play Fist of the North Star, go play Fallout Shelter, go play, you know, any other number of games that are out there. Fire Emblems, I think I already said Fire Emblem. Go play, you know, Valkyrie Connect, go play Raid Shadow Legends, which this video is absolutely not sponsored by, but every other video in the world is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Go play any of those and then come back and tell me how you feel about this game, because visually this game is amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with it, regardless of some of the things, because a lot of times they go back and they change it. They're like, oh yeah, we put this out. And I feel like that's a big thing that Smilegate, Super Creative are doing right now, is they're putting out things kind of on the safe side, because they don't want a Silver Blade Air Method. They don't want an ML Ball event again. They would rather I feel like they would rather put it out nerfed and then buff it up to an acceptable level, instead of putting it out overpowered and then having to come back through and redo it. Okay, look at that. My little pet right there just got me an epic catalyst. How can you complain about that? How can you complain? Free epic catalyst. You know how often those drop? Not very often. Not very often at all. And he just dug one up. Little angry glowy butt pet right there, just dropping epic catalyst on me. So, you know, the big thing is, take a step back. If you're that mad at the game, just take a break. I was super mad at Fate Grand Order. I took a break. I tried playing other games. Obviously, I kind of quit making content for that, because I realized where I stood and I realized where the game stood, and they are actually doing a little bit better now, because, you know, I feel like they're seeing a little bit of a backlash as well. But you do have to come at it. If all you do is just word vomit on things and get irrationally angry, then that does nobody any good, and it just causes more drama in your life. So, you know what? I guess the whole point of this video was, just take a breather, man. Take a breather, come back with some constructive criticism, and realize that you are not the only person who plays this game. And if your ideas are the ones that are not making it through, well, maybe your opinions aren't the most, you know, overall viable ones, and maybe the game's just not made for you, and maybe you should find something that is more up to your speed. But I know, you know, if you got any feedback for me, let me know in the comments. I know this is probably going to not be the video that some people thought it would be, they're going to be like, well, what about this thing? And why don't you complain about that? And, I like this thing and I think it should be this way. And you know what? That's cool, dude. Everybody on the internet has different opinions. As long as we can talk it out and I can put my side out there, you can put your side out there, then that is perfectly fine. But I mean, if you come in the comments and you just call me a piece of shit, well, that's a whole different story. And you know what? Then you can just move right on with your opinion. But I'm gonna end this and I'm gonna get back to farming, because I have more doggos to walk and more runes to farm. And I've been ranting for, I've been talking for a good bit of time anyways. So let me know what you guys think. It's like I said, I'm not going to join the hate bandwagon. I do have my criticisms and I will get them out there as I get them out there. I'm not completely happy with everything that they've been doing, but I do have a little bit of faith that they will come back through and they will look at things as they come along. But I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy, homies. Peace.